Hey guys, Coach T from TD Fitness. I am coming at you in podcast number 2 of the TD Fitness podcast. I didn't necessarily anticipate that this would be a regular occurrence, but I will tell you that we did have a lot of positive feedback from the first episode we did. And in an effort to continue to give you the information you want, information you need in a way that you can consume it, I figured I'd do another podcast here or another recording. So this week's topic it comes from a number of questions that I received over the past few weeks. A couple of them from friends, one from a health coach trainee that I am working with currently. And they all have to do with weight gain during the middle-aged years and kind of getting past plateaus. And all of us have been there. You know, it's the first thing I'll say about it is that it's not necessarily your fault. Okay. I will tell you that there are a lot of things out there, a lot of so-called systems and diet fads and crazes that promise results but don't deliver. So I understand that there's a lot of confusing data, a lot of confusing information. So in this episode, my plan is to tell you what's working against us as we age and how to counter those things. So the topic of this episode, countering middle-aged weight gain, I'm going to jump right into it. So first, I'll talk about the things that are working against us. I'll give you the bad news first. And that is, the first thing is a word I'm sure you're familiar with, and that's metabolism. Your metabolism does slow down as you age. Now, in order to understand this, though, you have to understand that metabolism essentially consists of 3 parts, to put it very simply. Your genetics, which you can't do anything about. You're stuck with the hand that you're dealt, okay? Second is thyroid function, and third is muscle mass. Now, when it comes to the thyroid, so the thyroid is the gland that produces hormones which regulate the body's metabolic rate, as well as heart and digestive function and a number of other things. But for the topic today, just understand that the thyroid is essentially the hormone, or produces the hormone that regulates the body's metabolic rate, okay? Interestingly enough, though, this is kind of where we get into some gender specificity. So women do have a much greater chance of having thyroid issues than men by about a factor of 10 to 1. And it can be quite gradual. So women may find that they're losing some of that metabolic edge, not just through the 30s, in their 30s, but also into the 40s because the thyroid issues begin to spring up. So, ladies, you're somewhat at a disadvantage there, but it's important to know that. The second thing I mentioned was, aside from your metabolism slowing, is that you lose muscle mass, meaning you lose calorie burning power, because you may recall that muscle actually helps burn calories, whereas fat does not. So as you lose muscle mass, then you're actually losing some of your ability to burn excess calories. And this is thanks to lower levels of testosterone. And again, women, I'll tell you, you lose muscle mass about twice as fast as men do. So again, you get the double whammy on this one. Again, though, I'll tell you that it's important to understand that, because there are things that we can do to counter some of these effects. The third thing that I think is really important, though, when it comes to middle-aged weight gain, and that is we're just all a lot busier. Life happens. By this age, most of us have families. Most of us have kids. Typically, your work responsibilities have increased, so you're working harder, working longer. All that rolls up into less sleep, possibly. Also, there's some hormonal changes going on. You're hungrier, so you're eating more. You can blame your hormones for this. After we hit about age 40, estrogen levels fall, which causes changes in blood sugar and the thyroid, and your appetite increases. Add all of that together, and it leads to stress, and you get back into the hormone issue. So, and when you combine all this, you've really got a recipe for weight gain. So that's the bad news, okay? That's all the things that are kind of working against us. I'm going to tell you, though, that there are a number of things that you can do to counter those things that are working against us. And I'll try to prioritize these to the ones that I'll give you the ones that have the biggest results first. So you've heard the saying that you can't out-exercise a bad diet. And I'll stick to that, and I'm going to say that nutrition is going to be of the utmost importance. If you do something as simple as consuming 100 less calories per day, 100 fewer calories per day, then you can lose about 10 pounds a year. When you do the math, that works out, understanding that there are 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. If you add that up, that equals about 10 pounds a year if you do 100 calories per day. So in order to lose 10 pounds a year or prevent that 10 pounds of weight gain per year, just consume 100 fewer calories. 100 calories is not a lot, especially when you think about the fact that most of us, based on our height, weight, age, gender, are going to fall somewhere between about the 16, 17, 1,800 calorie mark and maybe into the 2,400 calories per day mark. So 100 less is not that much. You've probably seen those small 100 calorie packs of food in the grocery store. It's not a lot of food at all. So just cut out a little bit every day. Now, exercise is going to be important too. And the type of exercise that's going to give you the most bang for your buck when it comes to burning calories is cardiovascular activity, specifically types of cardio that burns fat. So burns fat fast. So when you think about cardio, remember that the benefits here are twofold. Number one, cardio is better for your heart health and it burns more calories. So, and calorie burn is going to it's going to be a blend of intensity and time. So you can exercise harder, you can exercise longer, you can blend the two. That's going to give you the most bang for your buck. And again, it's going to help with your heart health as well. Jumping back to the nutrition, smart eating. Think fiber, think nutrient-dense foods. If you're not familiar with what nutrient-dense foods are, compare them to their opposites, which are calorie-dense foods. The example I'll use is when consuming protein, so meat, chicken, turkey, lean meats like that are more nutrient-dense than fatty meats, such as fatty cuts of beef or sausage or something like that. The sausage, those fatty cuts of beef have a lot more calories for the same amount of protein than the lean cuts of meat. Other calorie-dense foods are going to be things like potato chips and bagged snacks. So you want to stick to the things that are more nutrient-dense because you'll get the same amount of nutrients, if not more, with fewer calories, okay? Going back to the exercise side of the house, resistance training. Okay, we talked about how we lose muscle mass as we age. So you have to add protein to your diet, but you also have to do strength training. And this could be something as simple as body weight exercises. You don't necessarily have to be on a bodybuilder regimen or bodybuilder program to add strength and to add muscle. You can do push-ups, you could do squats, you could do lunges, you could do pull-ups. There are a lot of different things you can do without even incorporating any external weight, just using your own body weight. But remember, too, that working out counters stress. So we talked about how stress is working against us. Exercise releases endorphins, which help to counter the negative effects of that stress. So those are some of the things that you can do to counter the things that are working against us as we age in order to prevent that middle-aged weight gain. Understand that if you're not proactive and you're not deliberate, it is not uncommon to gain 30 to 40 pounds through your middle age. Okay, I know if you haven't experienced this, then you may know someone who has. It's also easy, though, to offset that weight gain. You just have to pay attention to your diet and don't maintain habits just because they're habits. If you're used to eating a large bowl of cereal or a big breakfast or a large bowl of oatmeal every morning, ask yourself, am I really this hungry or am I just doing this out of habit? Because many times it's just the habits that keep us in the same mindset and keep us doing the same things over again. Now, as I zoom out a little bit, I'm trying to think of, the types of people that that may be listening to this, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and group you into three categories. First are the ones who don't have an issue with this. You've been skinny all your life, and you don't have a problem with weight gain. I'll tell you, congratulations, you are in the minority. But still, these healthy principles apply because it is possible to be skinny and unhealthy. So healthy diet and exercise is going to benefit you too. Second, you may be just starting to notice some slight weight gain, and you're looking to change your habits early. You are in the best position to do that right now because you've recognized that there's a problem, and it's absolutely easier to preempt weight gain than it is to lose it. So, and trying to catch up on the backside. So, implement some of these strategies right now, and hopefully you will be set up for success and avoid the weight gain. And then finally, there are those who are overweight and or obese, and you're serious about losing the weight. And I know you're serious about it because you're listening to this. And here's what I'll tell you. Number one, be realistic with your expectations. You did not gain the weight overnight, so don't expect to lose it overnight. Don't fall for the fad diets and the quick fixes. Remember that lasting change is lifestyle change. There are no shortcuts. It requires a simple approach with small changes implemented over time. If you've tried losing weight before, you did not fail, okay? As I said in the beginning, the diets, the workouts you've tried have failed you in one way or another because they were not sustainable. So rest assured that if you're consistent, if you're patient and serious and ready, you will see results. This is what we do. This is what I do with the health coaching folks that I work with all the time, okay? You know, I do this because it really pains me to see people suffer. I see it in coworkers. I see it in friends. Even closer to home, I have family members that struggle with carrying a lot of excess weight. Just last week, just so you know, I'll give you guys a quick preview. I decided to do more about this problem, and I'm working on something that I think can really help with this problem in particular, and that is reaching or adding additional weight as we enter our middle age. I won't go into the details now. I've already talked for a while, but we'll provide more info on that in coming weeks, and I'll keep you posted on the progress. That's about all I have for now. I encourage you to continue to hit me with the questions. You can reach me at coacht@tdfitness.net. Or I also added a question line to the TD Fitness main line. So if you dial 888-TD-FIT-01, that's 888-833-4801. Option 3 will take you directly to a line where you can record your question. Just leave your name, your email address, and your question, and I'll be sure to address it. I'll either answer you back, well, I'll definitely answer you back, but I may even use it as one of the topics of discussion on a future podcast. So I appreciate you guys listening. Thanks so much for your time. I love all you guys. I wish you guys a healthy and happy week and a blessed week as well. Coach T, out.